There is nothing more heartbreaking than checking your jars after weeks of waiting only to see a patch of green fur instead of your healthy white mycelium. So today I'm showing you the subtle visual cues that separate a healthy snowflake network, of course, from a deadly infection. You will learn how to identify the green monsters in its early white stage so you can get it out of your lab, out of your incubation room, out of wherever you have kept it before you ruin every other project, every other bag, every other jar that you are working in. And stay with me because later in this video I will show you why sometimes that contamination in quotes isn't contamination at all, and throwing it away could mean losing perfectly healthy genetics. Are you with me? All right. The point I want us to talk about, the main reason why I'm doing this video is because it actually hurts so much. It hurts. If you've ever lost 10 jars at once, you know the pain. That's not just disappointment. That's your money gone. Let's do a quick math. So if for example, you're buying grain jar around 800 naira in, say, rice and other materials, plus the energy, and you prepare like 15 jars, that's like 12,000 naira gone in just one mistake. Now, you can imagine that you are doing it bigger. Let's not even know that is again. So contamination rates that are above 20% can actually wipe out your profit margin completely. And here's the most painful part. Most contamination is actually visible within 24 to 48 hours. And you'll be like, what am I doing? So meaning if you know what to look for and isolate those sparks early, you're going to be able to protect the rest. And today is about saving your harvest before that disease spreads. So this is the right time for you to get your pen and paper. You have not gotten that. Okay? I've worked with growers who reduce contamination from 35% down to under 5% just by improving identification and response timing. And that is why you should listen to me. No expensive equipment, no fancy lab, just sharp eyes and better triage. By the end of this video, you'll be able to do the same thing. All right? So stay with me. Yes, by the end of this video, you'll be able to recognize healthy growth patterns, spot Trichoderma before it turns green, differentiate bruising from bacteria, and understand why contamination happens and know exactly when to save it or to toss it. Now, let's start with what healthy actually looks like. Secret number 1, the white standards. Know what good looks like. So healthy mycelium is bright white, not dull, not gray, not patchy. It grows in two main patterns. One that we call the rhizomorphic growths, that is like robe-like strands reaching outwards like lightning. And then we have the other growth that we call tomentose growth. It's fluffy, cotton-like clouds. Both are healthy. So here is the key. Healthy mycelium is spread evenly. It radiates outwards in circular pattern. It doesn't look thick in one corner and thin elsewhere, except your mixing is not actually right. And scientifically, there's an insight that says that healthy mycelium colonize grains at about 2 to 4 mm per day under optimal 24 to 28 degrees Celsius condition. So if one patch grows 10 times faster than the rest, be suspicious of something is wrong. So what's the action step for today? Compare all your jars, compare all your bags side by side daily, look for even radial growth, mark suspicious jars with tape immediately, and isolate anything that grows unusually fast, because what grows fast unusually might not be mushroom, and that really brings us to what we're talking about, the green monster. Secret number 2. Are you writing? Secret number 2 is the early stage Trichoderma. That's the most common enemy mushroom farming. It does not start green. That's the trap. It begins as a thick, bright white patch, but here is how you spot it early. It looks denser than mycelium. It doesn't form robe-like strand. It grows aggressively outward, and it often appears in one corner or near the lid, top of your either your fruiting bag or your jar. Then suddenly overnight, you start seeing some green, forest green. That green color, those are spores, and spores mean spread. Have you ever seen a jar turn green overnight? Drop it in the comments. And how long did it take for you to spot green in a particular incubation, a particular jar? So, scientific fact, tries, they spot within 24 hours, meaning once they're matured, they can release as many spores into your growth space. That's why you always say remove contaminated ones. Okay, so what's the action step for whenever this happens? Whenever you see isolate that jar, isolate that fruiting bag, never open it indoor. Dispose it and clean the surrounding area with 70% isopropyl alcohol. But not all color mean trial. And this is where many growers panic too early, and that is what I'm here to teach you. And that brings us to secret number 3. So let's decode colors quickly. When you see blue, it's often bruising. Like when your mycelium is stressed or touched too much, it can turn blue. That's oxidation, not contamination. When you see pink or kind of pinkish yellow or yellow thereabouts, it's often bacterial contamination, especially on your grains. Okay, and when you see gray wispy molds, you have to keep it to one corner. When you see yellow slime or wet grains, that's bacteria, and it actually smells more. So these are just the tests how you get to know what is happening at any particular time. And please don't open suspicious jars or bags indoor just to smell them. Please. Secret number 4, the pink oyster exception. So if you're growing a pink oyster mushroom, the mycelium can actually look pink. So yes, pink. So that means there's an exception. Okay. So you don't need to panic. You just know that their healthy genetics is just there. So always confirm your species of oyster mushroom or whatever mushroom you are growing before you start growing, so that when you see something, it doesn't look you don't see something and think something else, okay? And so that's why it's always important to know your strain before you declare war on it. So what's your action step for this particular secret? Label every jar clearly. No expected mycelium color for your species, and compare with photos from trusted source. When unsure, you can isolate, but don't just throw it away because you think. Okay, so now let's talk about why contamination actually happens, because sometimes it's not just your sterile technique that is the problem. And that brings us to what I call suckback. Okay, there are 2 hidden causes most growers don't know. And number 1, if you cool your pressure cooker too fast by opening it early or pouring cold water, you create negative pressures inside your jars. That's for people that are producing spawns, okay? And that vacuum sucks in dirty air, and that dirty air carries spores. So it's always important that you follow the correct sterilization rule: 15 psi for 90 minutes minimum for grains, and cool it naturally. Whether it's your bags or your jars, cool it naturally. Then the second cause is when you leave uncolonized grains at the top, you have left the gate open. Bacteria colonize unclaimed nutrients first. And it's scientifically proven that contaminants grow faster than mushroom myceliums on exposed nutrients. So always shake your jars at 30% colonization to reduce and to redistribute your growth evenly. So what's your action step? Sterilize at 15 psi for 90 minutes. That's for people that are producing spawns. Allow natural cooling. Shake your jars at 30% growth, and remove jars or bags with stalled growth. Isolate them at least. Now let's talk about what to do when you actually find contamination. So what do you do? Please, if you see green, it goes straight into your trash. Do not open it indoor. Do not open it in your grow space. Do not open it in your fruiting room. Do not open it in that space. And when you see suspicious growths, don't toss, just isolate immediately and monitor. Immediately you see green, it goes out again. Please, I'm saying it because a lot of people have come up to tell me, oh, this, oh, that. Make sure you're not allowing spores to get everywhere by opening a contaminated bag or contaminated jar in your grow space. Because one contaminated jar can actually cost you your entire batch, and that is not what you want. I don't want that for you, and I know that you don't want it for yourself. So what are the prevention checklists to reduce your contamination to under 5%, at least 10% minimum? Get a pen and paper. Maybe I'll leave it on the screen, but get a pen and paper. 15 psi for 90 minutes. That's for people that are doing grains. On 70% isopropyl alcohol on all of your surface. Use flame. Sterilize. Use flame. It's very important that you use flame to sterilize your tools. You limit air movement during your inoculation. Limit air movement during inoculation, and label every jar. Daily inspection also very, very important. Do this consistently and your contamination rate is going to drop drastically. And then you might be saying, oh, what about us? What about us that are doing bags, that are not doing spawns? It's almost the same thing. When you are pressurizing, especially, make sure you're doing up to like 3:30. If I do 4 hours, and start counting when your steam leaves. So now let's do mindset reframe. So here's the truth. For every serious mushroom farmer, they have definitely lost jars, they've definitely lost fruiting bags. Contamination isn't failure, it's actually feedback. So each fruiting bag should teach you something about sterilization, airflow, moisture, or patience. And the grower who actually succeeds are not the ones that did not ever see green or contamination. They are the ones who responded fast, because speed actually saves your harvest. And observation, I keep talking about harvest mushroom eye, saves you money. And of course, discipline builds your profits. Okay, so make sure you are doing everything to grow this your mushroom eye. And if this video has helped you in any way to identify a suspicious jar or fruiting bag today, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notification, because in the next video, I'm not going to give you expo. Just make sure you turn on notification, because I'll keep dropping my experiences, I'll keep dropping things, I'll keep dropping things. And trust me, you want to learn from my own mistakes so that you don't have to go ahead and make it. So until then, keep your jars clean, your eyes sharp, and remember, sometimes that green spot is actually the end of that jar, and don't let it be the end of your whole project or your whole growth cycle. All right, so see you in the next one. Until then, bye.